2 नंबर पे करो, 2 नंबर पे.
It is such a beautiful blessing, a beautiful honor, a beautiful joy to be here on the holy banks of Mother Ganga, coming together with all of you across the world in this World Unity Week with our family at Uplift, at Unify, at Unity Earth, at so many of the other organizations, United Religions Initiative, the Parliament of World Religions, so many organizations coming together for a week of unity, of love, of oneness. And today, dedicated to water, it's such an honor and a blessing to be here with my Guru, His Holiness, Pujya Swami, Chidanand Saraswatiji. And here from the holy banks of Mother Ganga, we will have a sacred water blessing ceremony and then share with you thoughts, inspirations, words on water and unity. First, I'll humbly request Pujya Swamiji as we will perform this water blessing ceremony on behalf of all of our global family. Together, we pour the water on the globe as a symbol of our oneness and our unity.
Om Dhyoho Santirantarikshagung Santihi Pretavi Santirapaha Santirokadayaha Santihi Vanasapatayaha Santirvisve Devaha Santi Brahma Santihi Sarvagung Santihi Santireva Santihi Sama Santiredi Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukhabad Bhavet Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
चलिए.
As the sacred sound of the conch shell is blown behind us, it's a beautiful and auspicious moment to begin because it's that calling. We blow the sound of the conch, what we call the shank, to waken us up, to remind us at the beginning of our ceremonies, at the beginning of our rituals. So it was a very perfect and very auspicious beginning to have the sound of the shank, the sound of the conch blowing behind us as we begin. As we dedicate today to water, I'm reminded of the beautiful proverb that says the frog does not drink up the well in which it lives, because it would seem so obvious, it would seem so unnecessary to speak about this. Clearly, water is life. Water is everything. As we've just performed this beautiful water ceremony over the globe, we see on the globe that our earth is mostly blue, mostly water. And beautifully, the earth is water in the same way that the human body is water. The percentage of the earth that is water, which is just about 70%, is the same percent that our human bodies are approximately water. So we are the microcosm of the macrocosm. Our earth is mostly water. Our bodies are mostly water. And that water that flows here through the waters of our Mother Ganga, through all of our rivers, through all of our water bodies, connecting us into the oceans, running between us, beneath us in our groundwater, and literally through us in the rivers of our bodies that we call our veins and our arteries. We all are water. And water is that physical substrate of unity. When we speak about oneness and union, we just had our International Day of Yoga, where we spent the day and days before it talking about how we are one, how we are united. Well, water is the physical reminder of that. The same exact substance that makes us up is what makes up the earth. It's literally that which we are and that which connects us, which makes us realize how important it is, of course, but also how tragically absurd or absurdly tragic it is to actually have to have all of these events around reminding us of the importance of water. Every day, all over the world, parents get up, they go to work, they sit in traffic, they commute, cars, trains, buses, subways. People do things that they have no interest in doing just to make enough money to give their children a good life, to give their children a good education, to give their children the opportunity that they personally didn't have. The dilemma with that is, as beautiful as it may be, as inspiring, as wonderful, as understandable as it may be, if there's no water, all the education in the world isn't going to benefit them. If there's no water, it's irrelevant what job they're going to get. It's irrelevant what type of opportunities they will have. Without water, there is no opportunity. And our water is disappearing at a tragic rate. Tragic rate. The United Nations is telling us, all of our governments, or at least many of our governments are telling us, the water is disappearing rapidly. By 2040, we're going to have, according to UN statistics, up to hundreds of thousands of water refugees. Means people who have to leave their homes, leave their cities, leave their land, just because of water. Whether it's because the sea levels have risen, they won't have a place to live, or whether it's because where they live no longer has groundwater. Their well has literally run dry. And there's a lot of talk these days, beautiful talk, essential talk, crucial talk, fundamental talk about human rights and about the essentialness of ensuring that people of every race, of every religion, of every color, of every creed, of every socioeconomic status, of every sexual orientation, have access to human rights. Well, water is a human right. Hundreds of millions of refugees having to leave their homes because of no water is a violation of human rights. We're already in a situation today with what's going on with wars in a variety of countries. We don't know what to do with the refugees. It's already a human rights crisis. Imagine what happens in just a few years when we have up to hundreds of millions of people walking, looking for a place because they have no water. And I share this not to make you feel scared or bad or guilty, but actually because every one of us, every single one of us has the power to make a difference. Yes, a lot of the issues are massive intergovernmental policy issues over which very few of us have any control. But a huge amount of it actually is in our control. The simple example of what we eat. The Amazon rainforest produces about 20% of the oxygen of the world. It absorbs about 20% of the world's carbon dioxide. It gives us about 20% of the world's water. It is literally the lungs of the world and also the water of the world. And yet, aside from the fires, aside from governance issues, the Amazon is being cut down at the terrifying rate of more than an acre a second. Like this. An acre. An acre. For what? Simply to graze the cows who will become hamburgers. Simply for the production of beef. The production of half of a kg of beef, about a pound of beef, about the amount that if they all ate just a little bit, one family would eat in one meal. That amount of water is the amount of water that goes into bathing for 6 months. It's about 10,000 liters of water, about 2,500 gallons of water, which literally is what you would use if you bathe every single day, not from a bucket the way we do it in India, but literally from a shower head that is pouring water onto you for 8 minutes. Someone somewhere discovered that the average shower is about 8 minutes. So if you bathe every day, 8 minutes at a time, water pouring on you, that amount of water is the same amount of water that goes into the production of one meal of hamburgers for your family. Now the question is, it's not about telling people what to eat. It's not about taking away your freedom. It's not about us dictating your diet. It's not about religion. It's about a simple question. Are you prepared to not bathe for 6 months in order to offset the water usage of that meal? Think about it. We all know we're in a water crisis. If you are watching this, If you are joining with us today for water, you know we're in a water crisis. Chances are you turn off the tap when you brush your teeth. Wonderful. Chances are you've installed some kind of a low flow flush in your toilet, maybe a low flow shower head. Maybe you subscribe to the if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down view of how to conserve water in our toilets. All of which, by the way, are wonderful things to do. And all of which combined pale in comparison to the amount of water that goes into what you eat. And so the question again comes, are we prepared to refrain from bathing to offset the beef? And by the way, for people who say, well, I only eat chicken, chicken's about a third, so you'd only have to refrain from bathing for about 2 months. Now, again, it doesn't mean that we're sitting here on the banks of Ganga saying, thou shalt become an absolute vegetarian, an absolute vegan. If you can, fantastic. The earth thanks you, your body thanks you. Children dying of hunger, thank you. The Amazon thanks you. But it doesn't have to be black or white. If even you can cut down a little bit, every meal of hamburgers that you don't eat, that you eat vegetarian instead, that's 10,000 liters of water. About 5 kgs of beef, just a different way of thinking about the same statistics. About 5 kgs of beef. It's the amount of water that an average family of 4 or 5 people use in an entire year. 4 or 5 people, a whole year, 5 kgs of beef. If you're a beef eater, could you think about at least cutting down your beef consumption by, say, 5 kgs? It's about a little over 10 pounds, 12 pounds. Could you cut down by that much? It literally is the amount of water that a family of 4 or 5 uses in a year. So while, yes, we are facing a global water shortage, we're dealing with global land shortages and food shortages, mostly what we have is a global consciousness shortage. And that's where today, as we come together for unity, as we come together in World Unity Week, as we come together in oneness, let us choose. Choose for unity. Not just by watching this live stream and liking it and sharing it, but actually by changing how we live, how we eat, how we shop. The whole concept of more, cheaper, 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 that keeps these factories spewing waste into the air, into the soil, into the groundwater, into the rivers, is fueled by our urge, our drive for more, cheaper, cheaper, cheaper. As we come together in unity, let's watch together, share together, like together. Let's love. Love the posts, love everything. But mostly, let us love each other. Let us really love each other in a way that we are prepared to choose and to live for each other. Because lastly, we think about peace so much. We talk about ending violence, all forms of violence. Religious violence, gender-based violence, drug-induced violence, terrorism, war. But if you take all forms of violence, you add them together, the total number of people who suffer and die every year due to all forms of violence combined is still so much less than those who are suffering and dying due to lack of water. So let us come together, really, and choose every minute, every moment for water. It's a beautiful blessing to ask Pujya Swamiji to bless us on this day, on the importance of water. He is someone whose entire life has been dedicated to water, to the protection and preservation of the flowing waters of Mother Ganga, and then to all of our water bodies, forming our global interfaith WASH alliance, uniting the world's faiths together for water, sanitation, and hygiene. It's a great honor and a great blessing to ask him to inspire us, touch us, uplift us, and enlighten us.
Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garudadhvaja Mangalam Pundarikaksho Mangalayatano Harihi Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti My dear sisters and brothers, we are sitting on the banks of the Ganges, so beautiful, so divine. Looking at the holy waters of Ganga, it comes to my mind, really this is life. Water is life. Without water, there is no life. We need to work for water, live for water, serve for water. I think it comes to my mind that we need a water charter and we need water chatters. We need to come together for water. Without water, there cannot be peace. And no water, no peace. No water, no life. That's why this World Unity Week, it is reminding us that we are one. We are one. We are together. Now we need to take this togetherness into action. And 4I program. We need to have a 4I program. Number 1, inspiration. Number 2, information. Number 3, innovation. And number 4, implementation. We are inspired and we are informed. So much information. During this week we have gathered. So much inspiration also is with us. And now, with this inspiration and information, we have to put into action ourselves. Our scriptures in Hinduism remind us, Mata Bhumi Putroham Prithivya. Mata Bhumi Putroham Prithivya. Mata Bhumi Putroham Prithivya. Mata Bhumi Putroham Prithivya. Putroham Prithivya. Putroham Prithivya. The earth is our mother and we are her children. We know that without water we cannot live. We also know the statistics, and they are serious, very scary numbers. By 2040, the world will have only half the water it needs. And India will be there by 2030. Just imagine. So scary. And last year, Chennai, one of India's largest cities, ran out of water. Sao Paulo in Brazil and so many other cities are facing the same situation. At least 21 cities in India alone, including capital New Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai and Hyderabad, will likely run out of groundwater very soon, affecting around 100 million people. So many of our cities around the world are running out of water. We also have innovations. There are so many innovations these days that save water. There are so many great innovations that helps us live eco-friendly lives. The technology is there, but along with the technology, we need the tenacity. Technology is there, but we need to add our time, talent, and our tenacity. The most important innovation is a simple change of our mindset. We need to change the way we think. We need to change the way we have our lifestyles. We have to change our lifestyles. Tragically, the world is seeing each other as a bazaar, a shopping center. We need to change this mindset and realize the world is a parivar, a family, not a bazaar. In a bazaar, we exploit each other. In a family, we support each other. In a bazaar, your gain is my loss. In a family, your loss is my loss and your gain is my gain. In a bazaar, we compete, and in a family, we cooperate. In a bazaar, we grab, grasp, and hold. And in a family, we share and care. In a bazaar, we steal from each other. In a family, we sacrifice for each other and serve each other. In a family, we live simply so that others may simply live. We need to change how we think and focus on filling our shelves and more on recognizing the fullness of ourselves. When we just keep filling our shelves, we have to keep buying more and more and more. There's never enough. Everything we buy contributes to pollution in our air and in our water. When we realize the fullness of ourself, then we don't need to keep filling our shells. We need to focus on being more and serving more, rather than having more, holding more. Life is not about having more. Life is about being more and serving more. When we think life is about having more, and we keep buying and buying and buying and keep contributing to the destruction of Mother Earth. Everything we have, everything we purchase was produced in a factory and traveled by trucks to the store. Those factories and those trucks full of goods are destroying our earth for our future generations. So we need innovations in our minds. We need innovations in our values and our priorities. We need innovation in our lifestyles. We need innovations in our diet. As Sadhviji explained, choosing a vegetarian life is one of the simplest and most profound changes each one of us can make to ensure that our water is protected and our future is protected. Lastly, we need implementation. With the inspiration, information, and innovation, now we need implementation. It means we need action. We need ourselves to put into action. Let us all come together and be the solution. Number one, we must improve our ways of agriculture and irrigation so that there is a less water intensive and more sustainable. We must go organic, reducing chemicals and pesticides which are contaminating our soil, our water, our physical health, and the health of our planet. Buy local, buy seasonal, buy organic, be vocal for local. Number two, we must promote large-scale water conservation, such as rainwater harvesting, water harvesting, very important, and groundwater recharge. Initiatives must be taken care of. We must plant lots of trees. Trees are a great source of water. One oak tree, just one oak tree, gives off 40,000 gallons of water a year. It means that's 150,000 liters water every year. One oak tree, just imagine. For every birthday, every marriage anniversary, any other anniversary, plant trees. Very important. No trees, no rivers. No trees, no water. No water, no life. Very crucial. So number three, we must go green. We must shift from a greed culture to a green culture. Greed culture to a need culture. From need culture to a new culture. Mahatma Gandhi said so beautifully, there is always enough for everyone's need, but never enough for even one man's greed. Just imagine. We have to move from use and throw culture to use and grow culture. We must understand that our actions and choices have an impact on the planet. And I said earlier, we must go vegetarian. Live simply so that others can simply live. Today, from the banks of Mother Ganga, let us give a call for water for all. Water for all means life for all, means peace for all. A call for water is a call for life. A call for water is a call for peace. Let us be together. Let us work together. Let us walk together. That's what the pledge we should take it today when we are concluding our celebration. That's what is needed. That's why we are here. And let us be together. Raise our hands together. Raise our hands together and take a pledge. The river bodies needs you. The planet needs you. The Mother Earth needs you. And God bless you. Thank you. Thank you being together from all over the world. You have come from so many countries. You are here joined from so many religions. And here we are sitting together without boundaries and without barriers as one family. We are one. I love you. You love me. We are one. One family. We are one. One family. One family. One family. Thank you. Let us stand up.
It's been so beautiful to join together with our family. Our family of Unity Earth, of Uplift, of Unify, of URI, of the Parliament, our whole family, and all of you. As Pujya Swamiji said, from so many different races and religions and colors all over the world, for this very special moment dedicated to water. From the banks of Mother Ganga, from the lap of the sacred Himalayas, sending you all so, so much love. As Pujya Swamiji sang so beautifully, has told us all, I love you, you love me, we are one, one family. If that becomes our mantra for the week, our mantra for the month, our mantra for the year, our mantra for our lives, what a beautiful, beautiful transformation we will have. So thank you all for joining us. And we hope that you will keep joining us here on the banks of Mother Ganga. Every day at this time we have something very special. On Mondays and Fridays at 6 o'clock we have our meditation on the banks of Ganga. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays we have satsang. So all of those are at this time at 6 o'clock in the evening, India time. The sunset time. So join us every day here on the banks of Mother Ganga. So much love to you all.